Good morning. Welcome to the Wichita State University Weekly Briefing. I'm Zach Gearhart, Director of Government Relations for Wichita State. As always, we bring you these weekly briefings in order to keep you better informed to important events happening at Wichita State University. The format will be I will talk for a few minutes about important events happening at Wichita State, and then we will have a featured presenter talking about some exciting campus events. This week it's Nancy Loosely in student involvement, and then afterwards you'll have an opportunity to ask her questions. Then I will be back up to answer questions about other weekly updates. This week is a little unusual. We'll have a special announcement following the very end of the briefing. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the weekly update. At Wichita State, we always strive to mention critical events where students have the opportunity to engage workforce, to engage leaders in their professions. The Elliott School of Communication this entire week is having Comm Week. One of the featured speakers is Alexander Hefner, who's going to talk about civil discourse in an uncivil age, the quest for post-partisan citizenship. Maybe in my role as government relations, I should go to this. But very interesting. He's a PBS host and has a long and distinguished career. I would encourage people to go to this event. It's 7 to 8 p.m. tonight at the CAC Theater. Go, and this entire week, communication students or students in general, go to Comm Week, meet these people. A lot of them are Elliott School alumni, and just have engage them, talk about what you want to do. It's just a great opportunity for you to take advantage of. Probably the most frightening thing I'm going to talk about at the briefing today is the fact that somehow FAFSA applications for next fall are already available. They became available October 1st. One of the things that Wichita State University has tried to do for the last few years is make the student experience more friendly, whether it's interacting with financial aid, interacting with your advisors, just the student experience from start to finish to when you graduate. So one of the things that you can count on when you do your FAFSA is that once you apply for that, you're automatically applying for all the need-based aid that Wichita State University has to offer. It's critical for the priority deadline to start getting those done by December 1st, because that's when a lot of the need-based aid kind of starts getting sucked up. So I would encourage students to take advantage of that. One of the other things that financial aid has this year is now, which is completely different from probably when a lot of us went to school. You can do your FAFSA from your phone through an app called My Student Aid. You can do that on your Droid or iPhone devices. So no longer do you have to get out your computer and sit there and do that for hours on end. You can do it in your PJs on your phone. So just a kind of great opportunity for students to take advantage of. Another important event happening on campus has to do with what we call SIM, and I think we at Wichita State maybe take for granted a lot of the plans that we have cooking in Morrison Hall. SIM is the Strategic Enrollment Management Plan, and it identifies a lot of goals, a lot of opportunities for Wichita State to fulfill our mission and vision. One of those goals has always been to better serve first-generation students, to recruit them, to retain them, to graduate them. To that end, we've been hosting this conference for the last couple of years called Ad Astra. It's really geared towards understanding first-generation students. What are their opportunities? What are their barriers to entry? How can we better make their experience better so that ultimately they become more successful? One of the things that I didn't realize when I was looking at this is since 2006, we've seen a 55% growth in first-generation students at Wichita State University, which is just extraordinary when you think about where we were in 2006. Currently, 45% of our entire undergraduate class is represented by first-generation students. So having this Ad Astra conference that brings these first-generation students from across the state to engage them is a critical need for Wichita State University. The conference is going to be October 26th through 27th. There's a pre-conference October 25th. You can look on ODI's website for more information. It's free to the public. I'd encourage all first-generation students to go, but I would encourage for the campus at large to pay attention to this event because this is an example of how Wichita State University can really engage the community, fulfill our mission and vision, better create a workforce for the future. One of the things that you heard Ty Tabing talk about last week or the week before, activating a lot of the campus spaces at Wichita State University. So something we're going to try and do is talk about community events that are happening at Wichita State that we want the public to come to. We believe that in order for Wichita State, again, to fulfill its mission and vision, you have to have community be a part of the university. So Scrimmage, which is this terrifying name, but actually it's a lot of fun, is the baseball team dressing up in costumes, and they're going to have a scrimmage. That's happening October 29th. We really encourage families and friends of the university to come onto campus that day. Gates open at 12:30. The actual game starts at 2 p.m. But particularly children dress up in costumes, come have a fun time. You'll be able to run the bases after the game is done. Parents should love that, burn off some energy before we send you home. And then the Shocker Pep Rally, we had a date change with this. It's actually going to be October 29th now at Brayburn Square. It's kind of the kickoff for the basketball season. We're going to have a bonfire. Both men's and women's basketball teams and coaches are going to be there. Spirit Squad will be in attendance. Shocker Sound Machine is going to have its first ever public performance. So just come out, have a fun time. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8 p.m. It's just a family-friendly event. We're hoping to have fire trucks and police squad cars out there for kids to interact with. And kind of along those lines of community, family, friends, having a good time, we have Nancy Lutzley, Director of Student Involvement. And she's going to be able to talk after this video stuff.
Good morning. As the video just displayed, Wichita State has many unique and long-standing traditions. Among the most recognizable is Shocktoberfest. The original Shocktoberfest was a picnic started by the Alumni Association, which took place during homecoming week. Over the years, the picnic grew to be one of the largest celebrations on campus. In addition to the event's activities growing and changing over the years, so did the name of the picnic. In 1982, alumni renamed the event Oktoberfest and featured a German theme, followed by the following year calling it Shocker Oktoberfest, and then it became Shocktoberfest in 1984. After that, the name stuck. Even though the football program ended in 1986, homecoming was continued the following year, but Shocktoberfest was affected and became a much smaller event. In 1988, the Alumni Association discontinued Shocktoberfest, but homecoming remained. In 1990, homecoming was turned over to the Student Activities Council, or SAC, as they're commonly known, who in 1991 brought major changes to the program. Being without a football team, SAC decided to transform homecoming into a fall spirit event, borrowing the name from the Alumni Association picnic and called it Shocktoberfest. Shocktoberfest kept the spirit of homecoming and some of the more traditional events, including mud volleyball. Over the years, Shocktoberfest has changed and added events. While homecoming royalty was originally retained, this competition was replaced with Man and Woman of the Year. The goal with this competition was to recognize outstanding leaders at Wichita State. Over time, a scholarship was added for the finalists, and eventually it was moved out of Shocktoberfest to a standalone competition, which still takes place during the same time frame as Shocktoberfest. In 2017, in order to be more inclusive of all students, the name of the award was changed to WSU Student of the Year. Other changes over the years included moving mud volleyball and tug-of-war and the carnival out of Shocktoberfest. This change was made to these outdoor events given the late October timeframe Shocktoberfest was held. Mud volleyball and tug of war still are offered as competitions to students in September. 2015 brought some major changes to Shocktoberfest. One was combining the carnival with another program, Trunk or Treat. Since then, this event has become a favorite for students, faculty, staff, and community members. Other changes included incorporating campus-wide events into the schedule, including Big Pink Volleyball, the Pumpkin Run, and Hunger Games. For many years, the video contest was a favorite part of Shocktoberfest, especially among the academic and colleges, in particular the business and engineering students. Over time, submissions fell off, and the video competition was officially retired in 2007. In 2008, Songfest, a dance and lip sync competition, was introduced and quickly became a favorite of students and audience members. The program was held in the CAC Theater the first 2 years, and then Wilner Auditorium, but quickly outgrew these spaces. Since 2011, with the exception of 1 year when it was held at the Hughes Metroplex, Songfest has been held at the historic Orpheum Theater in downtown Wichita and has sold out every year. While there have been many changes over the years, some mainstays have been the door decorating and banner contests and breakfast with university administration. Active and athletic competitions have also been a mainstay and have included over the years 3-on-3 basketball, badminton, dodgeball, yell like hell, and flag football. All the events and the many competitions are offered to encourage student groups to come together to compete for the Shocktoberfest trophy, which stands over 5 feet tall. Each year, we receive strong participation from the many fraternities and sororities and various student organizations on campus. In 2017, the coordination of Shocktoberfest was transferred from SAC to the Campus Traditions area of student involvement, which also plans other longstanding traditions, including Hippodrome. Since the move of coordinating the celebration to SAC and then Campus Traditions, one goal has been the development of students. Students have decided, planned, and executed this tradition and brought forward many of the ideas and changes over the years. This year, Shocktoberfest takes place October 20th through 27th. The kickoff is on Saturday, October 20th with the Pumpkin Run and then Trunk or Treat. On Monday, we celebrate Woo's 70th birthday with Woo's Birthday Bash. Next is the Hunger Games Food and Hygiene Drive on Tuesday, where donated items will be given to the Shocker Support Locker. The basketball competition takes place on Wednesday, Dine with the Deans on Thursday, Big Pink Volleyball on Friday, and then the culminating event, the student favorite Songfest, happening on Saturday, October 27th. Student involvement is excited to carry on this unique Wichita State tradition. While there have been many changes based on students' needs and interests to Shocktoberfest over the years, the purpose has remained the same. That is, celebrating Shocker pride and building lifelong memories and relationships for all involved. We invite all to come help us celebrate Shocker spirit by coming to Shocktoberfest. For more information, please contact student involvement via our email, social media, or website. At this time, is there any questions in regards to Shocktoberfest? Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. For anyone that's curious, I was never part of a Shocktoberfest winning Songfest team. I know that's shocking, but just thought I'd mention that. Before we get to our exciting announcement, I just want to give an opportunity to answer any questions for the university updates that you heard earlier today. So I'll go ahead and open the floor for any questions that the audience might have. All right, you're just waiting for the exciting announcement, I can tell. So for the past several weeks, we've been undergoing a national search for a new dean of the College of Engineering. We're excited that after an extensive search and interview process, campus engagement at different levels of the constituency groups, that we have selected Dr. Dennis Livesay to fill this important role. Dr. Livesay is currently the Dean of the Graduate School and Associate Vice President for Research and Technology Transfer at Wichita State University. He possesses strong backgrounds in physical, chemistry, computing, informatics, and protein programs. It's our hope that Dr. Livesay will not only excel our excellent traditional engineering programs, but also grow our capacity for interdisciplinary research and education. Dean Livesay will be available for questions immediately following this briefing and interviews if you'd like to take that opportunity. Go ahead, let's give Dean Livesay a round of applause, welcoming him to his new role. Thank you all for coming this morning. This does conclude the briefing. We'll see you again next week.